Guys, welcome to the Spicy channel. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of I'm going to 180 all of voiceless voice players out there. And I was originally going to make this deck list some time ago, almost when the banlist came out, because I already had this shit cooking, by the way. Because Voiceless Voice is a deck that doesn't have a lot of ceiling. And yes, it's really good. Getting a fucking Omni Negate on either turn, spit out like for free, is amazing. But this meta that is currently progressing into right now just made it more. It made more sense that this deck should be played like this because there's so many cards that work in tandem against the meta. And I'm gonna give you a fucking spoiler alert right now. It's this card. Listen, when your deck just works in tandem with cards like Ultimate Slayer, this card is one of the best cards going second. I was already building this deck for it to have a better going second turn, and Ultimate Slayer was great, and I sided it in when I was playing the Dogmatica version of this deck. But now it just makes much more sense that you main it. And okay, yes, you have a better card going second, but as I progressed with the deck building, I just realized Voiceless Voice already has a good going first by spitting out an Omni Negate. There's not much more ceiling that you can give that than just special summoning Pendulum Graph Dragon, which is the spell negate. So I just opted to build a fucking Voiceless Voice deck that is completely for going second. That is right, completely for going second. And for those of you who played Voiceless Voice, you know that when you're normally summoning low, normally summoning Herald, often you know, and you're gonna realize that you're just gonna go into Skull Guardian plus 2 hand traps in hand, and you just call it a day. That's with getting hand trap, by the way. So we guys already knew that the Magicka cards were good in the form of Nadir Servant. Nadir Servant was absolutely crap because it'll get you into window if your Voiceless Voice shit gets interrupted. But instead of just playing for your strength, we're just gonna go ahead and play for your biggest weakness. Because let's be completely honest, playing against a Malice board, which has like an inherent spell and trap brigade, is fucking hell against Voiceless Voice. Playing against Ryzeal, which is gonna pop your low and is gonna make your life hell. Try to special summon out Skull Guardian, when Skull Guardian is only gonna essentially just going to attack the Ryzeal XYZ, and then you're just gonna pick at your board little by little. We're gonna want to maximize somebody window, and you're going to see that going first isn't that bad because your deck inherently is gonna spit out window faster. And when going second, your deck is going to have like a million cards for breaking boards, and you're gonna see like the more you're gonna see the deck, you're gonna realize what, like, fuck, this makes a lot of sense. And I'm just gonna get right to it. But huge shout out, I don't remember the guy's name, but he put a comment that just made me wake up and just like, okay, let me do this deck list. He literally just said a deck list update, and I'm like, my bro, I got you. Also, huge shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh community. You guys, I make a lot of gaming content, but for some reason, not for some reason, I know you boys are the best. You guys always are interactive with the videos, and I love that shit because you guys like are passionate about the game, and I can't say that a lot about the other games I play. Of course, people comment on that, but you guys are him, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, let's get right to it. We're gonna start it with 3 low. Basically, the Voiceless Voice engine is gonna be intact because really these things you can't meddle around with. So it's just 3 Saphira, 3 low, 1 old man. This is just the cookie cutter ratio. I am only playing 1 Saphira, and I'm gonna be completely honest. In this version, you can absolutely play 2 because your normal summons need to resolve. So if you want to add space for this, but guys, the deck is 53 cards, and I already knew I was gonna round it up to 50 because you do run like a lot of breaks. But in tandem, you do run like a shit ton of power spells that will unbrick your hand. Like, you're gonna see that I run, I think it's 6 ritual monsters, which is a lot, but the deck being 50 cards is not gonna break. Like, when you see your hands, it's like the equivalent of running just only 6 hand traps and barely drawing one of them. So you're not gonna break on them. And let's go for this package. If you see my other video, the ratio is more or less the same. Other than I really maximize on going second, so I'm playing 2 fleur-de-lis, sorry. Because when you're playing these cards seconds and you're gonna try to normal summon or special summon this, and you have this in hand, you're already picking at the board, and you're threatening battle phase. So fleur-de-lis is just it's a really good card. Plus the more you have, okay, Voiceless Voice is a deck that doesn't actually just win outright. Most games it's gonna take you like, unless you win by attrition where your opponent scoops because he knows he can't just fucking beat an Omni-Negate every turn. You need the second one of this to search, so you can like beat your opponent's clapback if your opponent's clapback is way too good. And this is I'm gonna save that for later. You guys saw this in the last video. This is White Knight of Dogmatica. I already talked about how cracked this guy is going first, because essentially you get to look at your opponent's extra deck first turn. And bro, I'm every time I play my locals and they see I resolve this, and of course we already know what all of us are playing, but let's say for example one of my friends decided to play another deck and they want to have a better second game, they will just automatically scoop, knowing that, let's say for example, they didn't draw any hand traps, or this is just resolving. I look at their extra deck, I dump their sequence, their how do I say, their feat engine is now dead, so they're just going to have to scoop it out. So this card is absolutely crazy. Fucking going first and going second, because it bumps themselves to like almost 4K. So the card is really good going second. But the best card going second is Albazoa. If you guys don't know what this card does, essentially it's Dogmatica's boss monsters. But what it does is essentially, if your opponent's your Dogmatica monsters are unaffected by your opponent's extra deck monsters, basically. And he has a second effect, which I'm not gonna say it's not relevant, but it's only good on the crackback, which Voiceless Voice is the game they want to play. I wish his second effect wasn't as optional as it is, but it basically, your opponent has 2 choices of bouncing their own extra deck monsters to their extra deck, or them discarding half their extra deck rounded up. They usually just play with a 4-card extra deck on the crackback, which isn't the end of the world. But yeah, against some decks it's really bad, but we really just wanted to a 4K beater that just is just gonna battle phase them out when you go second. And the third card to play is White Relic of Dogmatica. This isn't a crazy ass card, but it is a good card that does have an effect when your opponent when you're going first. So essentially what it does is, when your opponent tries to special summon a monster from the extra deck, you look at their extra deck and dump a card. So if your opponent goes like Requiem, you can like foolish their the Link 2. And most importantly, this is how do I say, this is like a ladder to one of your combos if you end up drawing a lot of the ritual monsters, because you can go to, I'm gonna say it, well, a lot of these cards are, you guys, I'm gonna explain them as I go into the profile. But this essentially, when you play into Dogmatica Matrix, you can dump a Herald and you essentially get another piece to ritual with. So you can like set this up first, get you another Herald, dump Herald to ritual this out, and you have another piece to ritual out this or the Voiceless Voice monsters, basically. So it's just a lot of synergy within itself. I already talked about this in my last video, that this deck has too much synergy that, to me, to be honest, I don't know how they're not being played together, because they are light, which is really fucking important, because they under the Voiceless Voice continuous spell, this isn't targetable either. So you basically, this turn is a GOG card, because your opponent can't, it's unaffected by your opponent's extra deck monsters, and you can't target it. So it's basically like, it's nuts. So yeah, those are the monsters. And to round out the monsters, I decided to play one Magician Soul along with an Illusion of Chaos. One of the, there's actually a lot of good reasons to play these two cards. I'm going to talk about one of the most, the one that you're not going to expect the most, which is some of the lines when you're going to go into Winda, you can only dump the one that searches you, the fusion trap, and these are dark monsters that are searchable for you to actually fuse into the Winda without having to recur into a dark monster. So these are just the darks itself. Obviously, the best iteration of these cards is just dumping the spell and traps that are dead in your hand, which you're going to have redundancy sometimes. So this card is absolutely fucking good for just getting you into more cards, especially going first. So the card is just really good overall. It's just too searchable to not want. And when you're ritual summoning, since most of your cards are just level 7, this is the one level 1 card to like complete the 8. And I'm literally just talking about this. Like there's some few interactions where you have this, and you have the shit. I literally, those cards have like they feel like saying Bleach names. If you guys watch Bleach, it's like Caballero de Dogmática. I mean, I have this in Spanish, but they have like really Spanish-esque names. So yeah, this is just a level 1 to complete the level 8 for this. It's just another use, which you're going to go to into a lot. So yeah. Apart from that, you're going to see the extra deck. There's really no way to get rid of this other than ritual summoning, link summoning for this. And I don't play SP in the extra deck. You're going to see the extra deck, but this card is way too good to unbrick hands, by the way. Like, I'm telling you, like, when you have Dogmatica Matrix, when you have Voiceless Voice continuous spells, this just draws you to, especially when you're going second, it's like insane good, because when you see all the magic cards this deck is gonna have, you're gonna go like, holy shit, you can draw it to so many outs. I'm going second. And last but not least, I run 3 Fenrir. I was gonna keep the deck at 50 cards. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, but then I just said I'm just gonna run Fenrir. Fenrir is way too good, bro. And it's a level 7 to summon Skull Guardian with Sophia, so way too good. It's just breaks apart shit. There's nothing really else to say about this. It fuels droplets too, so the card's just way too good. And talking about which, I'm gonna talk about the Bro Breaker first, so you guys see how I'm literally not out of my mind when I said going second Voiceless Voice is a thing. So I run 3 droplets. You guys know how absolutely insane this card is right now. And God, other than you already know that the card is broken, like I said, you running so much continuous magic cards and like cards that just a normal spell cards where you can just activate and you have a free send off droplets, because not every deck has that, by the way. Not every deck has normal spell cards like this thing where you can just like activate them and send them as costless droplets. You send another monster and you're already like picking up their board. So yeah, it's just really good. Like I said, spoiler at the beginning, I'm running 3 Ultimate Slayers, guys. This card is absolutely broken. As you're gonna see, I run every single copy of a card in an extra deck where it's going to not only break your opponent's board, but it's gonna progress your board at the same time. So yeah, to Ultimate Slayer. And then you guys already know this card is already good at this format, but yeah, like I don't know what else to say. Triple T is like, again. And another thing, I wish this was an only going second card, but going into a format which each deck has like 15 hand traps, this card is absolutely broken too. So it's like more fucking gas to the fire for there to be a reason to running this like this. Preparation of rights. I was talking about this earlier. Shout out to the guy who told me. When you pre-prep, you don't have a legal target to search this or this. And I wasn't running it main deck, but now I am, knowing that I have a bigger Dogmatica package. But of course, you already know what preprint does on its own. but you're going to see that if you're running in tandem with this is like searchable. And since you're already running both, you can actually activate the second effect of this. So, which you can do if you draw enough of the Dogmatica spells, you can, like I told you earlier, you can pre-prep into Dogmatica Matrix. Let's say you drew this, for example, you can pre-prep these, summon this out, jump a Herald, and then you already have these two. So you could like special summon this and then activate this effect to look at your opponent's extra deck or yours, whichever you want. So yeah, pre-prep just has another purpose in this deck, which is absolutely crazy. Like I said, this card is already good for breaking boards. This card is good for going second, for going first. Sorry. And Nadir, it's the god card itself. There's not much more to say about this, other than in this deck it's better because it searches you Ecclesia, which searches you this card, which is absolutely bonkers. If you guys don't know what this does, I got fucking good news for you. This is going to be your favorite Dogmatica card from now on. This almost feels like resolving Shut Off Fusion, but it's better because Shut Off Fusion doesn't do anything other than be fucking useless unless you draw two monsters in your hand for certain. But this actually searches you a ritual card, Dogmatica card on activation. But if your opponent controls a monster, you can search alongside with it a Dogmatica card. And you know what that means? That means free ritual summoning. And yeah. What else is more to say than the second effect is one of the most broken things too. Which lets you look at your opponent's extra deck or yours and discard a card. So basically if you're going first and you can resolve all these cards, like I'm telling you, you look at your opponent's extra deck, and you guys know how Yu-Gi-Oh works in 2024. Very few little decks can operate if you discard the right amount of cards from the extra deck. It's why Unicorn is one of the reasons Unicorn is so broken. So if you could like turbo out those effects, they're actually crazy, guys. Voiceless voice cards. I feel bad because you're running like Dogmatica with a voiceless voice engine, which is okay, to be honest. These cards, the voiceless voice cards, are way too fucking redundant, and I love that. And you have to maximize that at some point, because let's say for example you draw Saphira, this, and Skull Guardian. Yes, if your opponent hand traps you twice or 3 times, that is very fucking good because you're gonna still summon your Skull Guardian, but that's only a first turn thing. If you're going fucking second and your opponent has like 4 interruptions, these cards don't really matter much if they're redundant. So this is, again, more reasons for me to try to convince you why this build is good. So yeah, we run that into this. Don't run one of this ever. That's the fucking dumbest thing you can do. Your Saphira is gonna resolve half of the times. Just run 2 of that. And the traps, I run 1 Shadal Schism, 1 Dogmatica Punishment, and 1 of the Voiceless Voice traps. Yeah, there's not really much. This card is broken, by the way, against Raziel, and it's broken a lot. It actually against Malice too. This card is just broken in general in this meta. Cause when the main commodity of your deck is just like that one important extra deck monsters, this card just becomes better. Like the decks that are coming right now don't have like, how do I say, like main deck boss monsters, so you can like pick at their boards, they're just dead from punishment. And yeah, what are some other things I want to say? I am not running impermanence just because of the sole reason that I feel like the spell cards just do way too much more. Yeah, even what's it called, the Dominus Purge, that card is absolutely crazy too. But again, in fact, you can, if you want to, you can run a 60 card version of this, run triple Purge. And the only thing that Purge conflicts, but if let's be honest, if your opponent isn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh, then Purge is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I didn't originally have the side deck for this. I'm gonna show you the extra deck. I built a side deck too, which is what you should be playing with this version, of course. Yeah, I didn't have it ready, but since I already woke up a violent and with the intention to make this deck, I built the side deck for you guys. Let's just go right ahead for the links. 1 Shryway Frigid, which is your link to target for Ultimate Slayer, basically. Of course, it does something with your own engine, but okay, yeah, that's that was always like that. This is just actually that something progresses your play when you Ultimate Slayer link out. Dynamondo, which is like staple, and Secure Garnet and Amaraj. This is the only links I play. And guys, you're gonna see the other extra slots. I would not change them, just because I know for a fact these are the ones that you're going to look to discard, like the most, like generally speaking, those are going to be the extra deck monsters you're going to be dumping the most in games. So we don't know this. I really wanted to run SP so you can make the magician card actually useful, the level 1, so you can at least link it out in some scenarios, but I literally did not have space. You guys can tweak around the links are just set, but if you want to adjust any of this, I highly suggest you don't. But if you guys find space for SP, then that's better. On Garura, which is your go-to Nadir dump, which is Ultimate Slayer target to break the board, run the Shadal package. I want to say something though. If you're gonna run or remove anything from the extra deck, it's going to be the construct. But there are some lines where you dump this, or sorry, you hard draw the trap. You hard draw the trap. You're gonna send it into the graveyard, for the magician, and then you can just in the line of play you can just dump this and have this. Get the trap, and then you have 2 of these. You have 2 interruptions. Which one? This one's good, by the way. But yeah, yeah. So those are your fusions and 1 Titanic Clad. This is another card you can opt to play out, but like I'm saying, there's times where you want to search Fleur de Lis directly from your deck for your opponent's next turn. So yeah. 2 Herald. Honestly, I would have played a third. This card is absolutely crazy, because the lines where you go into White Knight of Dogmatica and you like talk Dogmatic Calamity her out, you dump Herald to search, and mid combo you're gonna want to dump the other one to go into your Voiceless Voice combo. So this is just 2 her and 1 Malong, which is funny, right? And 1 Malong for your synchro Ultimate Slayer target, and then 1 Lulu Willith, which is your Albazoa target for Dogmatic Calamity. Fuck, bro, dude, that is a really a tongue twister. Fucking didn't teach that in school. On Aggregator, which is your XYZ Ultimate Slayer target, and that's it. Let me just give you the extra. The extra deck can change, but this is what I would play. But full disclosure, let me just show this one at 3 Lancia, but this would be, the third one would be Sanctum, which for some fucking odd reason I didn't have one. Should be in the mail soon, but anyways, this should be a Sanctum, because yes, I'm running Triple T. Let me just put this here. Running Triple T in the main deck. Bro, why wouldn't you run this in the side deck when your deck already has like a shit ton of power spells? You could literally pick one is best for the situation, and yeah, just go with it. So there should be a Sanctum here, and of course, fucking D-Barrier, which is broken. I'm not running more targets because I feel like in this matter, D-Barrier is just fucking enough, bro. Like, come on, be honest. Especially since, it's just crazy. When you have like the cards like this, it automatically shuts down Razio, and cards like this, it automatically shuts. This shuts down Malice and this shuts down Razio. You're really just playing to make your deck play against your sideboard, which is what I'm absolutely trying to do. I played 1 troll side with 3 cross out, and this is double purpose designator because you side this in when your opponent, your opponent is siding troll, and when you go in second, you're already signing this, but you side in along with the designator, so when your opponent tries to debury you for ritual, you just have that. It's just dual purpose. And the going first card, which is Iron Thunder. This should be Solemn Judgment, but I've been testing this out because it picks it back, bro. That's literally just it, because it's dual purpose again, because when you're going into, let's say for example, Labyrinth, this card's just really good against them because you can get rid of a trap and pop another trap. So it's like dual purpose. We're not running spell and trap remover because that, bro, doesn't matter, that shit doesn't exist except the Labyrinth, which I already told you this card is just really good against Labyrinth. So yeah. Yeah, guys, that's basically it. Like, maybe you can fix around the side deck a bit, but man, yeah, guys, try this out. Listen, I know there's the Rizio version of this. I just feel like that shit's copian. I'm gonna completely honest. If you're going to build a going first build, it's with these cards. They have. Guys, if you guys want a list, I'll give it to you when they get here. The Ryu Jet. If you guys want to play Voiceless Voice going first, just play fucking this, guys. We have to go into the senses that Voiceless Voice just breaks. Fuck it, man. If you're gonna build, if you like this deck, you know your deck is gonna break. Just come in peace that the games you aren't gonna break, you want to auto win, right? That is the purpose. Right now, if you play Ryu Jet and you go into full board and you go like double Omnigate, which is absolutely broken. Double Omnigate, this format is broken, bro. Because you already know the decks that are right now in the meta, you already know their combo lines by memory. And Omnigate's just going first, it just wrecks them. So yeah, if you want to play first, for going first, play Ryu J. If you want to go play second, try this. I'm telling you, you're going to fucking love it. Because the Rizio, listen, if you're gonna fucking add Rizio into your Voiceless Voice deck, just play Rizio. Come on, you know what I mean, right, guys? Just play Rizio. Don't do that shit. That's dumb. But yeah, that's all I gotta add. It was just a small rant because one of my friends told me, "Oh, play this shit. Play Voiceless Voice as Rizio." I'm like, bro, I will play Rizio, right? If I'm gonna go ahead and summon, fuck, I even forgot his name. But if I'm gonna go ahead and summon Rizio cards, bro, at least the Dogmatic cards just work in tangent with your own engine. So it is what it is. Like I said, if you want to play a 50 card version, which I think would be more consistent, you can take out the cashier cards. I just think the cashier cards are much more better. Like in a local environment, those things, you know how it is with fucking cashier cards. But I hope you liked the video. If you guys have any suggestions with the deck, let me out below. I'll test it out for you guys. Give me any suggestions, because the guy that told me about running the other Dogmatic ritual card, it's fucking helped me a lot, because going pre-prep into the Dogmatic ritual that actually searches you both is really good. But I hope you like the deck profile, guys. Keep fucking trusting in the deck. Have a guys start of the week, guys. It's almost fucking Christmas, by the way. Hope you guys get, I was gonna say hope you guys get your Bolt Charmies for Christmas morning, but you guys don't want that shit anymore because it's getting fucking reprinted. May you guys get your QZR School Guardians. There you go. Anyway, guys, see you on the next deck profile, and peace.